Fight and you may die. Run and you'll live. At least a while. And dying in your beds many years from now, would you be willing to trade all the days from this day to that for one chance, just one chance, to come back here and tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom?
Okay, and welcome back to the Smoky Room, where life is beautiful all the time. Of course, we're going to be talking about what is relevant, and I think part of the issue is a lot of people do not really know what is relevant as of late. I sound like a sports guy when I say, as of late, the Eagles quarterback. Anyway, but I will not be watching football any longer. Screw them. They want to play a different national anthem than ours. Go right ahead, be my be my guest. We try real hard not to use foul language on this show because we'd like to keep this show family friendly. I changed my brand of coffee, as a matter of fact. This is Verona by Starbucks. Don't tell anybody. My wife buys it. I don't. But it's good stuff. I had to lay off the French roast. It was... Man, did it tear up my stomach the other day. Really, very acidic. It's just me, too. I mean, I have stomach issues. Getting back to what we originally were discussing, what is relevant and what is not. Your average guy, or gal, for that matter, that's just putzing around, not really too involved with politics. I'm wondering what they think is really relevant in the world situation as it is. I'm guessing, of course, they would be concerned about the rioting, the looting, the killing, just getting your butt kicked for being white. Yeah. But then you have those same people, or at least some, and this is where it must be something in the water. Those same people would say, you know what, though? I deserve that. I mean, after all, 300 years of slavery. And this is what we're up against. Although I think, and you may agree, that it is starting to change somewhat. I think people have said, we're done with this. We're just done with this. And that is a good thing. What we need to understand, though, and the news media does such a fabulous job, and I think I got this whistle going on today, of brainwashing your average American, constantly being focused on the two parties, and I don't know, my opinion about the two-party system is it needs to go. We'll just have the American Party. How about that? This is Mel Shorts running for president, and this is Mike O'Malley running for president. He's an American. He's an American. This is what he believes in. This is what he believes in. You vote for the one you like. As George Washington believed, and I'm sure, I'm not 100% certain, but I'm pretty sure Benjamin Franklin backed him up on this, is that once you get involved in party politics, the interests of the people go right out the window. And you see this going on today. So let's get rid of the political parties, shall we? And just be Americans. Not Republican Americans or Democrat Americans. Look, you got 2 guys running or 3 or 4 guys running. You figure out, okay, these 2 over here are a-holes. This guy, I don't know, you know. You just vote for the one you want. And the same goes on, you know, for across the board. There are no political parties. You don't need a political party, okay? I'm glad I got that out of my system. So the news media, you know, latches on to that, and they keep just hammering that home, and that it's this party that's bad and this party that's good. That's not how it really is. The way I view the world, okay, and now I'm going to back it up here in just a minute, but the way I view the world is looking back on it, like sitting in outer space somewhere and looking down on the world, and you go, that's what the issue is. You know, it's not global warming. It's not that she can't cook. It's not that this party is horrendous. No, from the beginning of history, or when God made man. Did I say God? No, but when God made man. Yes, folks, I am a Christian. A Bible-thumping, Christ-believing Christian. Or as some... I got a friend, really. Hey, Joe, you still born again? I love the guy, really. I play music with him. We're in a jazz band together. Excellent musician, this guy. I love him. Hi, Den, if you're watching. But yeah, he'd call me a born again. People don't use it that much any longer, but yeah, I guess you could say I'm a born again, I'm a fundamentalist, whatever it is you want to call me. I've been called all kinds of stuff. And none of you, send me flowers any longer either. But there are forces out there that want to control the world. Is that a novel idea? Is that something new? Is it conspiratorial? I mean, it's practically been since the beginning of time that once evil got into the world, right? There's always going to be that stronger against the weaker. We're the weaker, okay? At least the way they see us, we're the weaker. The question is, who are they? Well, if you were to pick the most powerful people in the world, if you look back and say, you know what, I got to come up with a list of the most powerful people in the world. Would they be wealthy, you think? I think so. Would they be extremely wealthy, you think? Yeah. Now, these people want to control the world. One of the most oldest techniques used by armies, military strategists is to divide and conquer. when you have populations that are armed to the teeth, yeah, like we are. You see, they got themselves a little bit of an issue here with the United States, and excuse me, allergies. Once again, is that they're like sitting back and they're, oh man, geez, these guys are such a pain in the ass. What are we gonna do? You know, this whole gun control thing really isn't working that well. I don't know. So they got their hands full with us. And then Donald Trump steps into the picture. And these people go ballistic. Why? Well, reason being, we've heard Donald Trump mention it a number of times. He's not a globalist. And in no uncertain terms, he made them know exactly how he feels about globalism. That is what I'm basing my whole worldview on. Now, there's this book that people really ought to get. I'm new to this. There we go. Okay. And what I love about this book is everything is in chronological order. Now, there's thousands of quotes you can find of very powerful people in government, as speaking about this new world order. They've gotten us so used to it that it's no big deal, you know. They've been indoctrinating our children with this idea for decades now. It started when prayer was removed from school. I remember that. And I remember as a kid being confused about that. Like, whoa. Yeah. Because as a little kid, you see things as good and bad. And so when they remove it from school, what goes to a little kid's head? Why is it because it's bad? So that's what happens. And we were indoctrinated into the whole trick or treat for UNICEF. And I really wonder who got that money, I could see some teacher in school. Because you had to bring these little boxes in. But in my neighborhood, we kept the boxes. It's just, how much did you make? Oh, I got $3.20. Oh, wow. And then we'd go to DeLeo's and order a large order of fries and listen to the newest Beatles song. South Philly, what are you going to do, right? And teachers like, how come none of those boxes came back? And they would even ask, and you can't do nothing to you because I lost mine. I don't know, I think my sister took it, the dog ate it, my buddy stole it, I dropped it somewhere, but yeah. So they indoctrinated us into the world point of view. And of course we didn't know that, but that's what was happening, and gradually they started removing American history to the point where they are now bad-mouthing. Yeah, they're bad-mouthing our founders. They are bringing in the ideas that there do not need to be borders. Let's change the word illegal immigrant to undocumented workers, I think is what they use. Why would you have to do that? What's the purpose for that? I mean, if everything's okay, right? If this thing isn't happening, okay, if this, they want to use the word conspiracy, fine, it's not a conspiracy, it's out there. But for sake of understanding, I'll use the word conspiracy. So, the whole world government conspiracy, if that weren't there would be no need to indoctrinate or change things. Right? I mean, is that logical? I mean, everything would kind of stay the same because it's working, right? Our curriculum is fine. Our kids are smart. Can't say that anymore. That's for damn sure. But something changed. What exactly? What would cause this system to change? The way we educate, the way we see our borders, the way we change words from illegal to undocumented. What caused that to happen? It's a way of thinking that caused it to happen. It's these people that want something to happen, and in order to achieve that, this is what we do. This pandemic, I hate using that word because, wow, did we buy into that one, huh? Did we buy into that one? The mask. The mask. I just saw something the other day, which I'm still shaking my head over. I watch this guy on YouTube. I'm not going to mention his name, but he, I don't know. He's a trash picker. He has a. He's doing well. This guy, though. It seems like he's making a decent amount of money doing what he's doing, and he's good at it. But he's doing this video, and it's inside his truck, and he's wearing a mask, right? Yeah, guys, we're going to go. And he's wearing his mask. And then he gets to where he's going. Now, let's try this again. He's in his truck with the windows up because the air conditioning's on, and he's wearing a mask. He gets out of the truck to do what he's got to do, and he takes the mask off. Believe it or not, I stopped watching him because of that. But was somebody in your truck that had COVID-19 and you're still worried about it? But, oh, Lord have mercy. You see my point? People just buy into this. So, they got us, right? These globalists, they have us. Now, can we identify them? Can we identify this group of people in outer space that are causing us to act and think and say certain things? Can we identify them? Do we know who they are? Can we spot them by things that they do or write or show? Are we able to do that? Well, yes, we are, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to read for you. No, for you, actually. I'm going to read for you. Yeah, from this, okay? Page 135. If you all have your Bibles, can you please turn to page 135? This was written April 28th, 1972. And here goes this eye wanting to close again. Bell's palsy, I mean, it's not, in no way is it debilitating or anything. It doesn't hurt. But man, is it a pain in the... April 28th. Okay, the Congressional Record publishes Congressman John Rarick's. Never heard of him. But anyway, statement that the prestigious CFR, Council on Foreign Relations, dedicated, are you ready? Dedicated to one world government, financed by a number of the largest tax-exempt foundations and wielding such power and influence in our lives. The CFR is the establishment. Not only does it have influence and power in key decision-making positions at the highest levels of government to apply pressure from above, but it also, see what my eye does, it also finances and uses individuals and groups to bring pressure from below to justify the high-level decisions for converting the United States from a sovereign constitutional public into a servile member state of a one-world government. And the way they battle this information is exactly what they had done after John F. Kennedy was assassinated. I got a copy of that memo here somewhere, but yeah, if you could see my desk, it's a mess. But I kind of did this one off the cuff today, you know. I've been messing around like for weeks now with my video capturing software here, and beings that I am not really good at this, it's taken quite a while. And then I get it figured out and it stops working. So I had to get new video editing software. So there you have it. Anyway, going by what I just read, okay, using logic, you can see, right? I mean, you know, starting from the original thought that, man, the world is messed up, there's a lot of crap going on. Why? Ta-da! Right? I mean, wouldn't this be the perfect opportunity? The world, I guess the first time in human history, shut down. The world shut down. Okay? Everybody in the world is wearing a mask at the same time. Except, there were certain nations that said, up yours, we're not doing it. And guess what? They're perfectly fine. Huh. But wait a minute, Joe. There's a world pandemic and millions and billions of people are dying. I don't really think so. Sorry. So they've got the world in their grasp. I mean, they said, let's see if they'll do this. Let's see if they'll do this, you know. And they did it. Yeah. Huh. And here's where Donald Trump comes in. They were talking about a vaccine. Right? And it was even I wish I had the documentation, maybe on the next video. There's even documentation that they were talking about this chip that would contain a lot of information. That could be, I mean, it's not new. It's been out there for a very long time. My dog Chico had one. I miss Chico. But my dog Chico had one. My wife hated him. It was funny. But, yeah, my dog Chico had one. And they've been using that for a very long time. I even think, if I'm not mistaken, in Desert Storm, it was tested on soldiers. And I know that because I had friends that were involved in Desert Storm. One of them was a female. She was a captain. I knew her when I worked at Cooper Hospital. She was in a medical unit, and she got gassed, even though they said she didn't. But she's got the effects of it, so what the hell, right? And she was talking about the chip and all that. So anyway, that's why I believe that. So it's not new. And they were trying to figure out a way to make this mandatory. If this vaccine should come up, it would be mandatory. And gee, speaking about very rich, wealthy, powerful people, who was the guy that was really pushing for that? Anybody out there remember? Yeah, you got it. It was Bill Gates, right? Remember that name? And like, who the hell made him the vaccine czar? Where's that power come from, I wonder? But guess what? The guy that's against globalism, right? The guy that everybody hates, the guy that's hated more than Adolf Hitler, I mean, he just completely threw a wrench in the whole thing, and they hate him even more now. And especially when he went against the pharmaceutical companies. So, yeah. What's my point? Why did I do this today? I have no idea. But it was fun. No, I'm just joking around. Like I said, from the very beginning, when I started doing these, my main message is global governance and how dangerous and how sinister and how evil it is. Oh, it's downright evil. It's anti-God. Yeah. Without a doubt. I mean, you know, the people involved in this, they're like blood-sucking leeches. I mean, they are the scum of the earth. Believe me. Yeah, did you hear that, Hillary and Nance? There goes a perfect example of what they're like and what they look like. Somebody, and I'm not going to mention the name, but somebody sent me a joke today. It went like this. You know, Nancy Pelosi is got a lawsuit against a doctor that performed surgery on her husband not very long ago. The lawsuit, the reason the lawsuit is moving forward is because in the lawsuit it is stated that Nancy Pelosi said, since the surgery, my husband has lost all desire to have any sexual relations with me. But the rebuttal is from the surgeon, dear Miss Pelosi, the surgical procedure that was performed was for cataract surgery. I mean, the only outcome of that is that he has better eyesight now. Yes. I mean, I don't know if I said it right. But I'm going to end here, and hopefully you enjoyed this. Do the research. The book, once again, I mean, to get started, this is a great one to get started with. There we go. Dr. David Cuddy, PhD. And like I said, it's a compilation of quotes from elitists and globalists and just bad people. Starting, I believe, from the 1800s. Somewhere. Anyways. Yeah, it goes from the 1800s, 1889, and so it's good stuff. That'll give you a good idea. How could something be a conspiracy if the evidence is right out there? And that's how we are described as, the people wearing tinfoil hats. They're nuts, right? Usually they are Bible thumpers, they're right-wing extremists, they're white supremacists, they're Klan members, they're Nazis, What I was saying earlier, as a matter of fact, that started after the JFK assassination. There was a memo that went around that stated, and I'll reread that, I think I did it on the last video, that the people of the United States need to, and they emphasized, need to believe that it was Lee Harvey Oswald alone that assassinated the president. And they said that we should emphasize that anybody that disagrees with that is believing in a conspiracy. And that was the first time that that word was used to describe a group of people thinking differently than what the government believes, okay? Like personally, and I've had this happen to me. I believe that the World Trade Center, and it took me years. It took me a number of years to be swayed differently that there was something else going on there other than what we were being told by the mainstream media. As soon as you go off the narrative, that the pop culture narrative of this is why this happened, you're looked at like you're nuts. And all you're doing is using logic, and I've got some experience in building, and I was a certified structural steel welder for a number of years, and I have a little bit of an understanding of how this stuff works, and I couldn't quite figure out why the building didn't tip over and take out like blocks and blocks of New York, or actually both of those towers. They came right down where they were. They came down on their own footprint. And I had a hard time, like, how the hell does that happen? But they explained it, and that's how it happened, right? Even though there's like rivers of molten steel pouring out of the side of these things, and watching people jump out of windows, it's like, oh my God. And when you see that and you think that maybe there was something else going on that involved our government, that kind of creeps you out. And it makes it very difficult to think that it could be something else. Because thinking that, well, we understand this, it's easy to understand, bad people did this, and we're going to go get the bad people, so I guess we went to the wrong countries or something, because none of these terrorists were from the countries we went to war with. Huh? What? Yeah, so, and then I sold Building 7, and I said, okay. Yeah, so, that was my red pill moment. And with that, I'm going to leave, and I hope you gathered something from this, and maybe I made things clear for you in certain areas. And stay tuned, and there'll be another one on the way, and I'm glad you stopped by. See y'all, and have a good rest of your Sunday. Alrighty? Bye-bye.